Good evening. This is the Popper Scan video for Buy Sell Short for Tuesday, January 3rd. First off, today we've got CVM. The penny stocks haven't really been that active yet, but a lot of them are looking to turn around. We had a nice big scalp today on HEAT, which may finally bring traders back to these under 50-cent stocks. The real breakout here is 33, 34-cent area on CVM, and probably what would drive it would be news. So that's one I would keep an eye on. It's bounced back to its 20-day exponential, and it does have a positive MACD cross, positive ADX cross, and stochastics where we like to see it. So definitely one to keep an eye on over the next couple of days. GSAT with the market, nice little gap today. The next break would be 60 cents, and then you'd be looking for 64 to 70 cents as a possible target on this one. If I was to enter a scalp on the 60-cent break, I would look to place my stops at today's lows, which was 56 cents. A lot of our January popper plays are starting to pop up on the regular pop scan now. ANX is one of them. Frustrating play. It's been up really small over the last 3 days. 65 cents is probably what would set it free, and then 74 cents to 50-day moving average, which has typically been the target on a lot of these. If you go back and look at the list that we sent out a couple of weeks ago, those stocks that have run big, the 50-day moving average is the area they've all headed towards. Now, ANX, it's about to have its RSI cross 50 for the first time since that big sell-off, and the indicators are pretty oversold, so maybe finally this is the week. ACPW, pretty mooted today. 75 cents is the area we would be looking for a breakout on volume. Simple as that. Just a wait and see on this one. DHT, after today's candle, not the greatest chart. It has made its way back to the 20-day exponential. And you'll see if you look at the pop scan, there are some stocks that don't have a breakout point in them. As I've said before many times, that's because they're in the middle of a breakout, or the clear breakout is a lot higher, so some of you might want to enter that stock ahead of time. A good rule of thumb that I like to use is if the stock is below the 20-day exponential, that would be the green line you see on the charts I put notes on. That always makes for a great first target on a scalp. DHT is a shipper stock. The shipper stocks woke up today. Let's see if we get some follow through on them tomorrow. We've got a couple of nice shipper setups. A breakthrough 83 cents, especially if these other shipping stocks like SBLK and EGLE start to run tomorrow. 83-cent break here could quickly see a move to $1 on this one. GBG. This is a gold play. Got really high volume today. What's going on here? Let me click. There we go. Nice high volume today. Closed right at a breakout level. As you can see, 50-day moving average is up there at 116. RSI up through 50. Positive MACD or positive money flow tomorrow. So this one could be one to watch for follow through. And traders are all of a sudden starting to like these 90-cent to $1 range plays. So keep an eye definitely on that price range. PIP breakout 133 is what I would be looking for as a breakout on this one with a possible move to 150 plus. There's a play actually that we had on yesterday's pop scan. SIGA. This one is also about to break. Breakout is 275. Target will be 3 and 325. An entry at 275. I would probably keep my stops pretty tight on this one. Maybe 267 to 270, about as much rope as I was given, even though it's got a really nice setup. And the reason I mentioned this one, this stock tends to pull PIP, at least it used to back earlier in the year. So, if there's a nice big move on SIGA over the next couple of days, PIP could be one to keep an eye on. RAD, you're going to see some of these from yesterday's pop scan. 138 would be the target on this one. Sort of tough entry on this one. Maybe one just to watch and see how it reacts. SMSI was a big winner today. Next breakout is 140, and that could give a move to that gap fill up there at 155, 160. If you were to add this one, let's see where it closed today. Close at $1.33. You know, if you were to enter this one tomorrow, I would definitely look to place my stops at $1.25 if I was playing this one. If it broke through $1.40 and I jumped in on a trade on it, I would probably look to keep my stops 134 to 136. Pretty tight stops. Chart like this, though, could see some nice continuation, so definitely keep an eye on this one tomorrow. ALTH, where am I typing these wrong window? ALTH, $1.45 breakout, 145 to 160 would be target, with 140 stops is what I would be looking at. GMXR was a big winner from the pop scan yesterday. Continuation tomorrow could take this one up to that 50-day moving average, especially on a break of $1.50. Tough to chase this one now, but maybe tomorrow on a 150 break, if you jumped in, maybe 3-cent trailing stops just to see if it gets some chasers and some volume, which has been typical in this market lately. OREX, $1.70 break, 50-day moving average target 187. I would place stops at the 20-day 166. It's peer ARNA. It's got a little bit of action in after hours. That could spill over into this stock tomorrow. ALU, really big gap on this one today. I would actually be keeping an eye on this 172 level tomorrow. Again, this is another one that could be tough to chase, but a good learning experience, one to watch. A double top breakout like this really should see this one make a move to the 50-day moving average at 191. But as you can see, this stock trades a hell of a lot of volume, and sometimes they really need big volume to move. So this one may be more of a watch and learn how the chart setup works. Clearwire, CLWR, 210 break. Could be seeing a move to 225 plus, and along the lines of that, Sprint again almost had a breakout on the early gap today. We'll continue to watch that one tomorrow for a 241 break. Coco, 50-day moving average. Actually, 241 is probably the safer breakout on this one with a 260 target, but it closed in the 220s. So, this is one, if you see it starting to move tomorrow, especially with the positive MACD cross looking to happen here, could be one to keep an eye on that you would enter ahead of the breakout. And if you do enter it ahead of the breakout, really tight stops, 220 is where I would place them. SVNT, another nice mover from yesterday's pop scan list. 246 to 250 would be the breakout. 265, the 50-day moving average. Remember what I said earlier? This has been the target for a lot of these big movers on the January popper plays. So tomorrow, if there was continuation on this one, you could be looking for a scalp to 246, and then over that could get some nice movement, especially if it's on news. Suns, tech play, 250 break, 260 plus would be target. This one can range quite a bit intraday, although on a positive note, it did have good volume again for the second day in a row. If I was to enter this one on a 250 break, I would keep my stops tight at the 20-day exponential at 245. CSIQ, the solar stocks were doing very, very well today. A lot of them were in bounce mode. This was a big mover last month. The breakout is 307, 320, 350 targets. Again, if the solar see continued strength, the large cap ones tomorrow, traders will definitely flow back into this one. So it might be worth a possible early entry. So keep a really close eye on this one tomorrow. CIS was on the pop scan last week. It finally broke out through that $3 level today. Next target on it would be a move to that 325, 350 level back to the November where it started its tax loss sell-off move. But a very nice chart. Probably a little late to be riding into this one, but another one that you could keep a really close eye on. LLNW 328 is the breakout here. Not a whole lot of resistance till you get up to that 360 plus level. It's got one of my favorite chart setups here. This is what they typically called an ascending triangle breakout. One triangle, two triangles, three triangles, boom, is typically how this reacts. 320 break tomorrow at 322, 320, maybe worth the early entry here with stops. This one can range quite a bit intraday. 322, maybe 310 stops, but if it gets a break on volume tomorrow with this kind of chart setup, typically the way you do it is the largest depth of the first triangle, and then you add it to the breakout, gives you target. So you could be looking at $4 target on this one if it actually ends up being a typical ascending triangle breakout. So definitely one to keep an eye on tomorrow. REE, China metals play, 20-day exponentials up there at 404. They're starting to put in nice big bounces. These China plays are getting some serious action. This one could be one that could get played tomorrow. And if it does, we've also got some of those other laggards like SHZ and Zing, ZING, are two to keep an eye on if we do see some of these other ones break out. PWER, nice little move from yesterday. 425 is next target, and then 450 is what we'd be looking for here. Couple more left to do. ARAY, nice little breakout today. 460 break tomorrow. Could give a nice 15 to 25% scalp. If I enter the 460 break tomorrow, I will be looking to place my stops at that previous high of 452 or 455 around today's close. Last but not least, another one that was on the pop scan yesterday, MIPS. Next break is that 480, 486 level, and then you could be looking at a move to $5. You know, while we're here, let's just take a quick look at the indice charts. What looks to be a very nice breakout happened today. We had, look at that today, Golden Cross on the Dow daily chart. As you know, this is a very bullish event, especially in, you know, we've been using on the 15-minute time frame, but this can be a very bullish event, especially if we see follow-through tomorrow. Now, a couple of things to give us some hope on this market was good news from China. Yeah, we had that. No really crappy news from Europe, but the big thing was we had participation from the banks. The banksters were up today. Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, Bank of America. If we continue to see upside momentum in these bank stocks, that will give these hedge funds more confidence in this rally, and we could really see a nice little move on this market in the near term. Just looking at that one-year chart, this breakout that's in progress right now, next real target area and resistance would be where we had the T-bagger top in the market back at 12,700 or thereabouts during the summer. So that's the next level to keep an eye on for in the market. And last but not least, Russell 2K. Right at that breakout level we're looking. We're already above the symmetrical triangle. A move through that 200-day moving average, and you might really start to see some chatter about positive trends in the market, especially with that golden cross on the Dow daily chart. So things are shaping up here. Hopefully we don't get some crappy news from Europe to, you know, kick the legs from under the chair right now, but we've got some positive looking trends here. Small caps are starting to respond now, so let's see if we can get a string of 2, 3, 4 days of a row of a nice up market, not this big gap up crap. I'd prefer to see, you know, 50, 75, 100% or 100-point move slowly and surely over the next few days to start building confidence in traders. So that's it for the video. Again, if you've got any questions, shoot me an email, feedback@buysellshort.com or .net. Otherwise, I will see you guys in the chat tomorrow. Good night.